right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Connection Loop podcast. We're super excited to welcome in today Jackie Hermes. She is the founder and CEO of Excelity, where Jackie and her team focus on delivering smart, tailored strategies that convert the leads into loyal customers for all kinds of businesses, large and small, looking to scale. So whether it's building brand awareness, whether it's generating demand, whether it's optimizing for conversion, Jackie and her team make marketing make sense. So Jackie, welcome into the podcast.
Oh my gosh. I know I said this last time we talked, but great intro. Love it. Make marketing make sense. Where did that come from? Did you make that up?
Some genius said that. Oh, wait, it's you.
Oh, wait. I was like, wait, did I say that? Wow. We're off to a good start here.
Yeah.
Love it.
So talk to me about your background a little bit, Jackie. Let everyone know. Give us a quick little drive through about your background. What kind of brought you to where you are today?
Okay, where to start? So I started my career at GE Healthcare, moved into running marketing at a mid-sized software company, and they were private equity backed. So lots of acquisitions, integrating, different businesses, messaging, brands, all of that kind of stuff. It was very much like trial by fire. And I was, fairly early in my career too. Yeah. But it was cool because it really gave me a lot of opportunity, and it gave me the confidence to go and start Excelity, which we have now been in business for, it'll be 13 years this year. That's
congratulations.
Crazy. Yes. Yeah. So, early days I was consulting, and that was really my plan. I didn't really have a plan to have employees and all that kind of stuff. I had a baby, and I was like, I could use some freedom and flexibility.
That's perfect. And you said before when we chatted, you've had the same team for a long time, which is the stickiness of that,
Yeah, absolutely. My now co-owner, she came in 2025, 2024. Oh my gosh, I hope she doesn't hear this. She has been with me for almost 11 years now. So that's crazy. She was one of the earliest hires. There's absolutely no way I would still be here without her, holding me accountable, helping grow the business, put processes in place. She really helps keep us all grounded and moving. So
it's awesome when you have a great team, people you can depend on, especially when you're on the same page. Everybody's, the boats are all going in the same direction. Everyone's believing the same stuff, and it makes it pretty seamless.
Yeah, it helps a ton. And there was a time in the business years ago that we did have more turnover, and handling turnover is very hard, especially when you have those client relationships in an agency, because the relationship goes with the person, right?
Right.
And you have to make sure that you're really sticky and kind of tied in, but we haven't had any turnover in 2 years. So any voluntary turnover in 2 years. So that's helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So relationship wise, let's talk about this. And you talk a lot about when it comes to, the branding and the trust. So talk to the audience about the importance of those two things, the brand and the trust for growth for businesses.
Yeah, I think brand is seeing kind of a resurgence now, right? 8 to 10 years ago, maybe it became all about inbound marketing, lead generation. And I think that everyone has thought for a while now that marketing is just a function of sales. And it is something that is used to generate leads, and every single activity should have a number, an ROI, a pipeline attached to it. But that's sales. That's not marketing, right? And the functions definitely work together. But I think a big part of marketing's job now is to gain that trust, is to be out there in front of buyers. There's 95% of your buyers at any given time that are not in market to purchase a thing, right? And there might be 5% on average of your audience or your prospect pool that is looking to purchase. And so with that statistic in mind, that you really have to stay in front of people so that when they do become even somewhat ready to purchase, they start poking around, they start educating themselves online. They have to think about you and your company. Otherwise, you're not even going to be in the running. And I think that is the purpose of brand and gaining trust in marketing.
Yeah. And I think too, we're in a time now where, the personal really is the professional in a lot of ways. Because, think about even if you're hiring someone or you're working with a client, what does someone do probably immediately? Go right online, Look, look up their profile, everything about them pretty much, right? So I feel like we're in that era where the originality of kind of who you are, as long as it lines up with the company you're with, everyone's like on the same page. But there's that kind of freedom of originality that really is pretty cool now within
Yeah.
companies and
Yeah,
everything.
absolutely. And companies are encouraging people to get out there, and we do that a lot too, where like I'm interviewing our team members about
Mhm.
how they grow and learn and what their specialties are and all of that kind of stuff, because that only helps
Mhm.
make our brand stronger. And even some of the biggest brands that we look at as we're doing research for different clients, they are spotlighting people. I think it's such an important juxtaposition right now too with AI.
Oh,
Everything is AI, right?
yep, yep.
And people want to know that there's still someone behind the work and it's not just being run by AI and all of that kind of stuff. Actually, I just talked to a prospect yesterday who said she had to part ways with an agency because everything that they were giving her was just straight out of AI. And it's like that
Uh,
human layer is even more important than ever.
It's so hard too because, as AI becomes even more in our world than it is now, and it's pretty involved, is as long as it's on the side of assisting what we're trying to do, like helpful tasks, I think it's very useful.
For
But
sure.
people are really craving that personal connection, which is kind of funny because AI has been really kind of peaking now. It's coming out everywhere, and people are like, wait a minute, I want to talk to a real person. So I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Oh my gosh, like when you call in anywhere and it's just a AI driven system and you're like, "Come on,
Oh, come
please."
on. But the
I
AI is trying to have its personality. I get it. I get it. It's just, it's not the same. Never
Yeah,
will be. So,
there's like just like with everything in moderation slash there's a happy medium to everything,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
And that's this topic too. I think
Yeah,
it directly applies.
yeah. What about alignment? That's a big thing. So talk about, and I know you talk about this a lot, alignment with the marketing goals, with sales and ROI, because it's all kind of baked together in the same cake. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's something that we do a lot when we come into client accounts. And I'm always talking to my team about like, what are their goals for the year? And sometimes when we ask clients, like, they're like, well, what do you mean? Marketing goals? No, I want to know what the goals are for the whole business and how marketing should be impacting them, because marketing can impact sales, marketing can impact retention, it can impact, how the company appears and is perceived online. There's so many things that you can tie into.
Yeah.
So, for example, if a company is focused more on retention or renewal, then that is really more where marketing should be focused on. Of
Mhm,
course, while keeping that education going. And I do think that contributing to pipeline is very important, and it
mhm.
has to be tracked in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
So if I was just looking at sales goals for one of our clients this morning as we are renewing their contract,
Mhm,
and we're looking at, okay, these are the sales goals. Here is how many marketing leads we need. This is how much pipeline impact we want. Is this reasonable? Do you have concerns? And these are the kinds of conversations that we should be having, because that's how you show that your work is worthwhile. It's in that trust. It's in when someone gets on with a salesperson and they know exactly who the company is and what they do because they have done all of their research. But it's also in those hard numbers that you report on, because
yeah.
marketing teams that cannot show any kind of ROI
Mhm.
get fired
Yeah.
constantly. Marketing is one of the most volatile business jobs. It's really, if you look at the statistics, you'd be like, I do not want to go into marketing. The average tenure of a CMO in tech is like only a little more than a year.
Wow.
Last I
Um,
looked, and like,
wow.
how do you have any continuity?
It must be crazy because a year, it's like one of those expressions, you know what I mean? Like a year can be short or can feel long, depending on what's happening with the year, right?
Yep.
Either way, right? But when it comes to clients, I would imagine it's interesting because remember years ago, I think marketing firms and sales teams, you almost have longer time with the client. The client would understand, okay, we need time. Now it seems like clients are like, okay, it's been 3 hours. What are our results like? You've got to be so fleet of foot now with strategy, all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, we changed our entire process because we were like, this needs to take less time
Mhm.
and we need people to be like when they're excited, we need to excite them, right? Because someone signs on with a marketing agency and then they don't want to sit there for 3 months. Well, you audit everything under the sun. And then someday they're like, oh, there's a plan, but then we're going to start doing things and you'll have content out there in 2 months. And suddenly you're a year in, and then you're finally seeing some of the fruit of the labor, which I think is how it has traditionally been done by a lot of even just marketing in-house marketing resources and agencies. People do not have that level of patience. I think the internet and AI and everything that's contributed to it, right?
Amazon
Right.
deliver the same day, right? It's like,
I mean, I'm so bad now. Like, even if I'm trying to move some of my purchases off of Amazon, I'm like, but this takes a long time. I actually just sent one of my, I got a new, this is so off topic, but I got a new purse and my cat bit it the first day that I got it. So I had to send it out to like a leather working place. Yeah. Nice, huh? To get it fixed. And it took like a month for them to get it, fix it, send it back. And that's super reasonable. But not in today's time with the attention span of what it is. It's like people don't really have not the level of respect, but just the patience for that kind of like the craftsmanship. And craftsmanship goes into marketing too, right? So we just had to, back to your original question, we just had to change our entire process to say, okay, we're going in and we're saying what is working right now that we can continue and optimize. What isn't working that should be, that we know from our experience that if we make some changes to ad audience, how they appear, how the website is functioning, there's often that, I hate the phrase low hanging fruit, but I am going to use it. There's often that low hanging fruit where you say, okay, there's tons of people on this website. And we can tell because we have, visual visitor, whatever tracking system in place that they're the right companies, but no one's converting. So if we were able to just make some of those changes, and then we're buying ourselves time to really create a solid strategy, and we're making the client happy because we're getting stuff up and running as we're going. And we're not making sure that they don't just go dark for 3 months while we all sit around Mad Men style and create our marketing plan. That's just not how it works anymore.
Totally different. Totally different. What about commonality of challenges? So when you're talking with, different clients from different industries, do you see something kind of right away where you're like, yep, that's that. Yep. Everyone's having that issue. I see that. Like, so it kind of gives that client confidence when they sit down with you and the team that, yep, she recognizes right away we're having the same challenge that these other clients have.
Yeah, I know. One of the best ways that we get people to talk to us is by just looking at their website and giving them some simple tips and tricks on how they can improve things like time on site, like conversions. Just we need to make it easy for people to raise their hands, but a lot of people really neglect their website. Or you'll build something new and then you're like, great, we can do this for the next year and just leave it like this. But that's not how it works, actually. Even if you build something new, you still have to have your heat mapping tracking tool in place, like a Hotjar, where you're looking at where people are spending time on the site, where they're getting confused. You can actually view videos of how people are navigating your site, right? So it's like
pretty awesome.
I know, it's so cool. And then if you're viewing a number of videos and you're seeing similar patterns, then people are confused. They're not finding what they need to find on this page. And that is just ripe for making changes and updates. And so asking people, do you have these tools in place? Here are some things that I typically see working on a website to convert traffic that you don't have in place. Like, is this something that you've thought about? And that I'm more than happy to help people and give them that advice just completely upfront, which helps because it's like, give something before you're just like, please take a call with me. Right. But yeah, I mean, there are definitely lots of best practices. I think every marketer is pretty under-resourced. Marketing teams in general are small and lean and mean. And so I think that most marketing leaders have lots of ideas of things that they want to do, but they're not getting to. And that's a really good opportunity to open a door.
Yeah, you must see a lot of, maybe even, owners of small businesses or, department heads like we're talking about. They must kind of feel like that stressful balancing act of trying to almost, or you meet someone and they're doing 10,000 different things and they can't be good at those 10,000 different things because they're 10,000 different things.
Yeah.
So it must feel good when you come in and say, look, not only can we relieve that, but we can lean into the experience that we have and show the results.
Yeah. What is that matrix where it's like one side is urgency and one side is
Mhm.
importance. And most people spend all of their time on the things that are urgent
Mhm.
but not as important. And that is the Slacks, the emails, the client requests, or the, oh my gosh, we're launching a product next week and we didn't prepare for it, which that,
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen that a million times, but
Yeah.
they are not spending time on the things that are not urgent, but are very important. And that is the long term foundation, strategy, reporting, just making sure that everything is in place. It's
Mhm.
very stressful when you have all of those important but not urgent things
Yeah.
on your list, in your mind, in your roadmap, but you're just not getting to it. And
Yeah.
I think that's where, of course, resources help, but you have to have the
Mhm.
right resources.
Yeah, that's the big thing, the right resources. Like,
Right.
God, there are a lot of resources out there. I mean, it's like you gotta find the folks like, yourself and the team that have done it, show the results, and have worked with a lot of different kinds of businesses. So it's about
Yeah.
making that right choice. What about for you guys? What's worked for you? If we take the past, like this past year coming into 2026 now, what's been an effective sales strategy for you guys? Like what's
Yeah.
worked, that
Yeah.
you're currently doing?
Absolutely. So we just talked a little bit about that outreach strategy. We have a proprietary AI system that helps us look for all of that information and reach out to people and just really, I mean, customize that outreach. And that's a sales
Mhm.
strategy, not as much a marketing strategy, right? But
Yeah.
when you have those things going on and there is consistent outreach happening,
Yeah.
it really helps that, how many times, what's the statistic right now? Of how many times someone needs to see a brand before they recognize you, trust you. I mean,
Right, right.
I feel like I read different numbers all the time, but it's a lot, right?
Probably
So
changing all the time.
right.
It's
And
pretty
and that's one piece of the puzzle. Another thing that really helped is we fully relaunched our brand last January, which was so fun, something we haven't done in a really long time, but it created a lot of internal excitement and it created a lot of buzz because we treated ourselves like a client. We created a pre-launch plan. We were promoting the heck out of it. We had, our like lunch and afterward, and we were able to just drive a lot of traffic and a lot of interest in the business.
Mhm.
So I would say that can be applied to not just rebrands, it can be applied to, like product launches, to even like feature launches when you're solving problems and you're making people excited for things that they've wanted or things that they don't even know that they need yet.
Yeah.
So just making sure, I think that's a really overlooked piece is that people often don't have the plan together. Oh, this is coming out and, we can launch this in 2 weeks and it'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
Well, of
Yeah.
course, it'll be fine, but you're not going to get the attention that you need. We also went and updated all of our review sites,
Mhm.
and that has helped a lot.
Oh,
So
I bet.
just
Yeah.
making sure they are accurate. They have all of our services and what we're really good at right now, not what we were good at 2 years ago when we last looked at it or whatever.
Yeah.
Getting new reviews. We have gotten a number of leads that way. And then I think just keeping our personal brands going, something we touched on a little bit here, but
Yeah.
I have focused a lot on personal branding since 2018 on LinkedIn. I host my own podcast. My co-owner, Jenny, she is on LinkedIn all the time. And our team is out there too, just,
Good. Yeah.
commenting, posting. When you have that kind of ecosystem
Yeah.
that is all working together. Again, it's no one of these things creates success, but
Yeah.
when you put all of them together,
Yes.
it
Yes.
creates a really great level of awareness and a really great pipeline for us right now, which I
Yeah.
love.
Good pipeline's a great pipeline. A full pipeline is a great pipeline.
Yep, love
So
that.
last question I have for you today. So, with your responsibilities, founder and CEO, from a fun perspective, what do you, because obviously you have to delegate. It's why you have a team. You can't do everything like we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But what's something that you still enjoy doing with clients when you do it?
Yeah.
Like, what's something, because like when you love doing something, okay, I got the whole team, but now what, what am I gonna do now? You know what I mean? Like, what do you still like to lean into with clients?
It's something that I talk about on my own podcast periodically that when you start a business
Mhm.
because you like to do a certain thing, like you really love, you're great at marketing strategy. So I'm going to start a marketing strategy and execution business. well, as the business grows, it turns out you actually don't do that stuff anymore. And so I think it's important to learn to love every stage of the process
Mhm.
and like be constantly challenging yourself to level up.
Mhm.
And when I do get that opportunity to get into client work, like someone's out of the office and needs backup, or someone's like, this is more something that I have specialized in, so they want my help. I love it. It is so fun to just be able to once in a while get in that nitty gritty. I'm not making the plans, but you better believe that I am reviewing, challenging, and
Yeah.
just making sure that every plan that we put forth is our best work and what we believe is going to really work for the client.
Mhm.
So I think the team has really gotten used to that idea of, like the healthy conflict and healthy challenge.
Mhm.
And that's really important within a company. So,
That's great. Well,
yeah.
Jackie, thanks so much for spending the time. I know you're busy. You got meetings all day. You're doing your thing. Everybody out there, if you want to find Jackie here, here's the site right here for accelerating marketing, and also on LinkedIn because you're a huge presence on LinkedIn. So that's like your home almost.
Yep.
So
Honestly, if you message me on LinkedIn, I will respond because I mean, unless you're trying to sell me something, then maybe I'll respond
hey,
if your
maybe
message is good.
if
Yep.
it's a good sales pitch, you
Yep.
never know.
Yep.
Cool, cool. Well, Jackie, thanks so much for spending the time chatting. I'm sure the audience out there appreciates it. Great insight, and we'll connect again soon. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you at the next episode.